Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Digital Dialogues by Maritime Gateway. Today we have a very eminent personality with us who is honored with the Padma Shri Award by the Government of India. Padma Shri Dr. A. Sakthivel, the President of the Federation of Indian Export Organizations, also known as FIEO. Dr. A. Sakthivel has been unanimously elected as the President of Federation of Indian Export Organizations for the second time by all the members of FIEO. He is the owner and founder of Puppies Group of Companies in Tirupur and is currently the chairman of Apparel Export Promotion Council APEC. He was first elected to the board of directors of APEC in the year 1982. He is one of the founders of Tirupur Exporters Association, established in 1990 and also served as its first president. He has also served as president of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, ICCI, Coimbatore. He is the first chairman of Apparel Made-ups and Home Furnishing Sector Skill Council and chairman for India Knit Fair Association. He is also the chairman of Tamil Nadu branch, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce. Dr. A. Sakthivel was conferred with Padma Shri Award in the year 2009 by the central government in recognition of his exceptional services to export sector. Welcome to the show, sir. We are indeed honored to have you here.
Namaskar, Mr. Umar.
Thank you, sir. Most welcome. So, we are in the pandemic times, as you know, and for the past 1.5 years, we have been through two waves of the pandemic, and every sector has seen its share of impact. So, from the export point of view, we would like to know from you what has been the impact on Indian exports in this past 1.5 years of the pandemic. And the second part of the question is in July, we have seen a sudden increase in Indian exports, almost to 48% over the previous year. So, what is driving the growth in exports?
Pandemic is definitely hit us badly, especially the first wave started actually end of February and up to December we have been affected badly. And that time what happened, even Europe and USA all closed, and here India also closed. So the order, getting orders and manufacturing or exporting order was difficult. So the last financial year, it was a really bad year. Then we started from November onwards, the orders started picking up and we are doing something good. Then again, the second pandemic has come and it has hit us. That time, really the orders were coming because Europe and USA was open and the orders we started getting it. But again, up to March, again this problem came, so we were badly hit. After March, actually the order position became good and we started booking orders. And again, there was a second wave and especially the second wave hit Indian part of it because other part of the world like USA, EU, where we are getting more orders, were open and they wanted the orders. Some states in India were also closed for April and May. If it had not closed April and May, we would have reached more than what we are talking about. Nearly 30% of the target we have achieved during this period. That is our target, or our Honorable Prime Minister target is $400 billion. Hope the third wave we already taken precaution by the state government as well as the central government. I'm very confident that we will reach this $400 billion target, which our Honorable Prime Minister also spoke about.
Sir, I will come back to you on that $400 billion target once again. And proceeding with our discussion, Prime Minister has announced this target of 400 billion exports, and he has also announced the plans to drop retrospective taxation. As the head of FIO, how do you suggest what should be the strategy to proceed towards this target and how it can be achieved?
We have, as I said, it is a achievable target, but the retro tax act withdrawal will not help much to the exporters. It is a big corporate company where they fail to pay taxes or the legal case or going for them. Maybe it is beneficial, not for the exporters. What we asked our Honorable Prime Minister, we can achieve the target immediately. So we have to get a lot of dues from the government, which a refund of taxes, MESS, ROSTL, ROSL and things are. So we requested the Honorable Prime Minister it should be released immediately. And also we said that after second wave, the EGLGS scheme has really helped us. But after the second wave, they are not considered because the loan sanction after February 2020, the banks are not considering this. So we requested the government that EGLGS should be considered for the loan taken after 2020 also. And also we said there should be some consideration by the banks, whatever the limit we enjoy, we should have immediately 20-25% more than what we are enjoying. Because when the orders come, the raw material also become a little costly. So to cover up the raw material and also have a quick production, so we should need some financial help, which we have requested for the Honorable Prime Minister. Coming to the other part, you already asked about the container shortage. Really, it is hitting us so badly that all of a sudden the freight charges have increased from $2,000 to $6,000, and there is a huge shortage of containers. And see, we booked orders well in 6 months. That also the buyers also not able to give us the freight charges. What are the differences there? So our request to the Honorable Prime Minister and Government of India is let the Shipping Corporation of India immediately import 100,000 containers so that the container shortage will be done with. Also, we requested the government that Shipping Corporation of India or any other agency, they should lease big vessels because leasing of aircraft is allowed. Same way, leasing of big vessel internationally will help us out to ease of the situation. And also with the Make in India aspect, we should encourage more people to come in for manufacturing of containers. So these are, we have to get it done quickly because the time is running. To achieve the target, government should look into it immediately.
Coming to some of the sectors where India has been performing well, but so they seem to be losing their share in the global market. Sectors like gems and jewelry, woven garments, and leather products. These things significantly contribute to our exports, but they seem to be losing a share in the global market.
After the second pandemic, we started getting orders, but the raw material also is an issue now. Because, for example, for garments, cotton yarn price have gone so much. So, what we request the government, please don't allow for even other steel and other products. We said don't allow raw material exports. Don't encourage raw material exports. For example, when I export a cotton yarn, for a yarn, I will get maybe 325 rupees per kilo. But at the same time, when I export 1 kilo of garments, I'll get about 1,000 to 1,200 rupees. Not only that, then you get that value addition plus employment. From yarn to finishing of garments, we have created so much job opportunity. So we should not encourage raw material exports because again, what happens? Countries like Bangladesh and all, they become a competitor to us. They import cotton yarn from us, they produce apparel and they become a competitor to us. So to avoid this competition, we should not encourage raw material exports.
Let us focus on the challenges our export community is facing these days. Some of the challenges we come across are like liquidity issues, cost of credit, IGST refund facility. So these are some of the common challenges our exporters are facing. So how do you suggest these should be addressed?
The refund of our dues should be immediately, government should release it. But what yesterday I heard respected Commerce Secretary said, ROSTL may be released today and road tab will be released by tomorrow. So what that comes in, that will help us for that increase our strength in working capital. And also the old dues are there like SCIS, MES and other things which also government should consider to release it. I already told that for EGLGS to be considered for the second, that is a loan sanction up to 2020 February also. Once this all done, then we are able to have a smooth sailing.
Sir, tell us about the Trade Infrastructure Export Scheme. What are the projects being implemented under this scheme?
See that is we call as a TIES. This fund allocated for the scheme is very minimal. That is 75 crores, and also it should be more given to the states. So nearly 20-25 states are taking this fund. This includes setting up ICDs and CFS and testing and certification specialists, land custom station, etc. We have asked the government that budget allocation for the TIE scheme should be increased so that better infrastructure increase our logistic efficiency can be reducing our highest transaction cost. And also here, mainly our ports also not able enough to handle mother vessels. So except few ports in India, so we have to depend upon the sending the consignment or use a feeder vessel to send to Singapore or to Colombo to export, especially from southern India. So our port facilities should be increased so that the mother vessel can come in and we can export directly. This way, cost of the shipment also will be reduced, and also sailing time also will be reduced. So the buyers actually they want goods tomorrow. So that kind of a situation. So the government should think about increase the infrastructure facility in the port also. They should our government, state government should work along with the government and see that whatever the ports they have in the state should be strengthened.
You have mentioned about the infrastructure and it needs to be improved. So let's focus a bit on the infrastructure side. For trade infrastructure, we have land custom stations, ICDs, testing facilities, testing and certification facilities. Then for border trade, we have bazaar hats on international borders. So how is the infrastructure at these points? What is your perspective on it?
I told see, this is the fund allocation of 75 crores is not at all sufficient for whole India. 75 crores is nothing when you want to do this. So at least the coming FTF, foreign trade policy, they should increase that allocation of 75 crores only to 300 to 400 crores so that state government can play a vital role to create these facilities within the state so that exporters can be benefited.
Let's talk a bit about our neighbors and the trade with our neighboring countries, especially when the government is focusing on Act East policy. So, how is our trade with our Southeast Asian neighbors?
Our neighboring states are the competitors for us. See, when our export was 10 billion, Bangladesh export was only 5 billion. Now the Bangladesh export is 40 billion, and still we are in the. I'm talking about apparels, especially because Bangladesh only export is the apparels. But whereas that's about 40 billion, we are still stuck with the 15-16 billion for last 4 years. The main thing that they enjoy is LDN, least developed nation. So the importers don't pay duty of 10 to 12%. So that gap always gives us a big competition. And like Vietnam and Cambodia also covered a big way. Vietnam has 4 or 5 years back, it was only 5 billion, but now they are doing 27 billion. So Cambodia also has come in a big way. That's why I said government should immediately think about striking our FTA with the UK, which is one country to be easy to have a deal with the UK, and also Europe and USA also. And we are earlier one of the biggest, our contribution to Australia and Canada was so good. But for Bangladesh, Canada also became a duty-free country. So there also our export is down. So this actually 4 years back, Honorable Prime Minister went to Australia and Canada. At that time, he started initiative of having a CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Package for both the countries. So that should be immediately done. So unless otherwise government consider and do this, it is very difficult to compete with the neighboring countries because buyers straight away say they are 10% cheaper than us. So this is a position actually with the neighboring countries.
So can the free trade agreements help us here?
Yes, that's what I said for UK. Definitely they can go out fast because UK is one country they can easily decide and sign the FTA with us. Same way with I said CEPA with the comprehensive with a certain sector and certain product they can sign it. So once Australia, Canada and UK comes in, it will definitely help in a big way in increase our export. Of course, Europe also now European Union has also started having a dialogue with our government. So that also if they finish it fast, what are the hurdles they have, it can be done. And we also suggest that they can have a first phase, second phase, maybe third phase also. First phase they should consider where our garments and textiles, leather goods are there. So they should consider that to have a FTA with them.
What are your immediate plans for the next 1 or 2 years for promoting exports?
FIO, what we have done is now we are going to create a virtual platform that will be 24 into 7, 365 days, especially for the MSME exporters. And also in FIO, we started identifying what are the HS code it is exported by our competing countries, and also what are the HS code imported by the big countries like USA and Europe and other. So we do the analysis, we are doing the research. Then we will see that what are the HS code is exported by other countries. We will see what is our strength in India about that HS code, what they are doing. So we'll pick up the HS code. We will promote those items and talk to the manufacturer of those items, HS codes, and we'll encourage them, handhold them, and encourage them to increase their export on the particular HS code, which we are not doing so far. So identify the HS code access is going on in FIO. It will be done. And not only that, now, as I said, virtual platform we are going to create. And it will be useful for the, especially MSME exporters. Here, with the virtual platform, what is the advantage? Other than the regular countries, what we are exporting, we can get new countries and new products also, we can export the possibilities. So when the platform is ready, and with the help of our other day, I think 100 countries, ambassadors were participated in the Honorable Prime Minister's meeting, so that our embassy outside India can help us out to identify the buyers and market with their, they can connect us through virtual platform. That will be a great export promotion because it's a good thing that Honorable Prime Minister involved our embassies. So their help is really required when you want to do or expand your exports. So these are the steps we are taking in FIO, and so virtual platform may be ready in within 2-3 months. Same way that identify the HS code, then started. We will talk to the sector wise. Suppose you take handicrafts, some item which is exported by our competitors like China or Indonesia or whoever doing this handicrafts export. Then we'll identify that product and tell our handicraft exporter or handicraft manufacturer, please come into export. This is a good item and there is a good opportunity for this item. Same by each product we will identify. That's why we identify in APC that of garments. Because I find that when I took a chairman of APC, we do export of 80% cotton garments and only 20% of garments. But same exercise I did for the finding of the HS code internationally. We found all other countries were doing 20% cotton garments and 80% of garments. So we requested the government, please encourage us to do this promote this among of government. And also we told government that India has got enough yarn and fiber of the polyester viscose, but we are lacking in the fabric. So the government has really, I should say, thank the government. They have accepted a request. The PLI scheme is going to come in. There, they are going to encourage fabric manufacturer and also man-made fiber garments manufacturer to come into this PLI scheme. Not only for that, PLI scheme is going to help the internationally, domestically also the scheme is extended. So we'll have a good opportunity because we are the, as I said, very good. We are number 2 or number 1 in manufacturing of fiber and yarn. So we can utilize domestically as well for international.
That will be also. Padma Shri Dr. A. Saktivel, thanks a lot for taking your time and joining us for this show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Thanks. Pleasure is mine.